Evening folks, evening, back with another night of Just for Fun Driving Club Nordshliefe action. We're 2 lap races tonight, not 3 lap races, so we should squeeze about 5 races in tonight. Bop is on, but tyre wear and fuel consumption is probably set up. Not 100% sure, we'll have to have a quick check at lobby settings when we get in. But yeah, that's what we've got up tonight, usual Nordshliefe action. Stickers still available. Hit me up at darksmoker@googlemail.com if you want any of those. Right, evening. Oh, let me put some lighting on. Let me faff my camera. Look, I've not done any of it. Not done any of it. No, don't delete it. Don't delete it. Hold on, peeps. Oh my god! Come on, camera, bosh. Get a little bit. Right there, that'll do it. Still not very light in here, is it? Anyway, evening, welcome. Nordshliefe action for you lot. So, turn the sound on. Yeah, that's on. Let's have a look who's in the lobby then. So we've got Mart, Sadoro, looks like grid's already been set up for this. Potkind, Callie Tim, Phil T. McNasty. Phil T. No, that's Canadian. Yeah, that's Scottish. He's Canadian. Eric Worms is in the house. Ace Killer, Vossi, Wiskol, Koenigschleiser, Ivanovsky. He's in the house. Steve Urkel. Nice. Janice PG, Sportificant, and Witty. All ready to go then for race 1. Eric Worms, keep waiting. Yeah, just I'm done now. I'm ready. You have to wait for me to get through all my crap. Sorry, but I'm ready to go. Evening. How are we all doing? Happy 4th of July to you Americans. Any none in the lobby tonight? Big shout out to you boys. Anyway, I know you lot think it's this big deal. The British, we don't care. It means nothing to us. I know it's your independence, rah, and all that. It was a Tuesday or something for us. It's about as much as we remember. So race 1 just about to start then. It is set up as the grid is set up from driver stand-ins. So if they've got good sportsmanship and good driver rating, they start at the front. And then every race after that should be a reverse grid. Maybe not the last race. They do like to shake it up a little bit in the last race. Mark just parked up. Callie Tim back in the Ferrari. He does like this thing. And there we go. Okay, Mr. Worms, we're ready. Let's get ourselves to the front for this one. So Mark's going to lead us out. Sador 69 is second in the Beetle. Potkind Vector third. Callie Tim fourth. Phil T. McNasty in fifth. Eric Worms 6th. Ace Killer 7th. Vossi 8th. Lights go red then. Revs go up. And away we go for race 1. Good start by most by the looks of it. First corner looking good so far. As they all come streaming through. A couple of big gaps already. Witty, oh, Ace Killer, and who's that? Janice PG. Somebody getting tangled up with somebody else. Oh, Ace Killer, how have you picked up so much damage? What did you do with that car? I don't know if damage is on heavy. No, it's repaired itself now, but yeah, that must have been full speed into a wall by the looks of it. Mark then starts to pull away in that BMW up front, 1.7 seconds, 1.8 now ahead of the Beetle. Under pressure, got cars starting to rack up behind him a little bit. Popkind, Vectra, Cali Tim not too far back. Oh, Popkind goes for a move, sweeps out to the left. Up the inside, Cali Tim looking like he's going to follow him through. Sador carries too much speed through, he's backwards. Luckily ghosts out and leaves the lobby. Popkind into second then with Sador's departure. Cali Tim third, Phil T McNasty in fourth, Eric Worms fifth. Vossi in 6th, Wiskel right behind him in 7th. A little bit of a gap bent back to Koenig-Schleiser in the Beetle. Ivanovski has been eager to race all night, sitting in 9th. Steve Urkel in 10th. Is it the NSX you're driving? Yes, it is. Whitty in 11th, Sportificant in 12th. Oh no, Sador didn't leave the lobby, he just fell so far back, he's ended up in 13th. Janice 14th, Ace Killer 15th. What's going on with Ace Killer? Why is he struggling at the back while the other BMW is pulling away at the front? 2.5 seconds now for Mark. So 2 lap races. You're not going to see hardly any tyre wear on these things tonight for, well, not for race 1 anyway. If they change those settings, obviously you might see that change a little bit. Holding that 2.5 seconds. Popkind then got his own issues with Cali Tim still tucked under his rear wing. Phil T McNasty, Wiskel, Eric Worms, Vossi not too far behind. Koenig-Schleiser just bolted onto the back end of this train as well, sitting in 8th. There's a big gap back to Ivanovski then, 4.3 seconds. He's still being hounded a little bit by Steve Urkel. Sportificants having a little bit of a lonely race at the minute. Whitty not too far behind him, being chased down by Sador. There's the headlights of Janice. And here comes Ace Killer now then, 3.1 seconds back. He'll be pushing that BMW. Making it look reasonably easy at the minute, Mark. Part of the circuit. Hard on the brakes now though. Back up the hill towards the carousel from Art. Pulling another couple of tenths from Popkind. He's doing alright considering how close Cali Tim is. Throw themselves into the carousel. Traction control kicking in though, keeping them nice and safe on the plant of the throttle on the way out. I don't like traction control. Should be able to control your throttle. Still pretty close for these two then. Oh, Popkind goes a little drift on through there. That's going to allow Cali Tim to catch back up. He has a tiny little mistake himself though, but he does close down on Popkind. Nowhere to overtake during these next few corners at least. Get a bit of bumper cam on. You can see less of the inside of the car. Just needs to stay with Popkind at this point then, heading close to the Dottinger straight. A few corners to go before we hit that. He needs to keep himself within slipstream range to give him any chance of an overtake down there. I mean, the Ferrari is a mile an hour faster than the BMW at top speed. So that might come into play a little bit depending on what the gap is. Opening up at the minute though, 0.7. This double apex left-hander over the top down towards the mini carousel. A little bit quick there maybe for Cali Tim, but he does close back up on Popkind here. Hangs on to that slipstream, barring any mistakes around these next couple of corners. Let's see if he can get the move done. 0.5 behind him. Martin front. Headlights of Phil T. McNasty behind. Here we go then. Slipstream kicking in. 167, 168, 169, 170. Peels out. Popkind Vectra trying to pick up the toe. It's not going to be enough to go for a move back on him. They've kept that gap pretty similar between themselves and Martin front. Just 2.7 seconds still. Made up a couple of tenths on him through there, but he's still looking good at the minute. To lap 2 then. Cally Tim into second place, Popkind third, Wiscol all the way through to fourth position. Oh, he's gone wide into the pit lane almost. Phil T. McNasty getting through. So he lost that position and then gained it back. Koenigsschleiser through to 6th, Eric Worms 7th, Vossi 8th, Ivanovski a little bit further back, 8.9 seconds down. Steve Urkel's not been able to quite hang on to him either. That gap opens up as well. 3.4 seconds. Sportificant 4.7 seconds behind. Ace Killer has made up a couple of positions. He's got himself past Whitty, Janice and Sador. And he's all over Sportificant. So all over him that he's got past him already. Now his next man on track. 4.7 up the road for Steve Urkel. Can he catch him before the end of this race? Back markers then. Gap started to open up. About 4 seconds between them all. And that lead coming down. So the Ferrari is obviously a little bit quicker here. It's pulling away from Popkind. Starting to close up on Mark. That gap drops from 2.7 at the end of lap 1 to 2 seconds. For about a quarter of the way around lap 2. Lost a couple of tenths in the first couple of corners, Mark, so that's a little bit of that's where a little bit of that time went. Now, we are getting into the twisty sections. Now, the BMW might come alive here a little bit, might be able to open that gap up a tiny bit. Maybe a little bit more planted than the Ferrari. Let's just keep an eye on that. It's 1.8 seconds as it stands. Can Cally Tim keep bringing that time down? Popkind Vectra falling out of the slipstream as well here. Cally Tim starting to make waves. Phil T. McNasty holding that fourth, but he's got a couple of drivers behind him. Wiscol and Koenigsschleiser looking for any opportunity. That's not, is it? What is that thing you're driving? What is this thing? Oh, it's a Viper, isn't it? Is it? Being harassed though. Wiscol looking to drive around the outside of him through there, but Phil T. McNasty says no, not this time. They're still at it though, side by side. Wiscol does find a little gap through there. Koenigsschleiser unable to stick with Wiscol there, so he has to settle for that 6 for the time being. Now can Phil T. McNasty get this position back off of Wiscol? This is where he needs to do it as well. Oh, a little bit wide there for Wiscol. Sticks a wheel on the grass. Fast section though now. Closing back up on Wiscol. Dragging Koenigsschleiser along. Really go for the move here. He's carried enough speed. He does go through. Stay on track. No, he doesn't. Nor does Koenigsschleiser behind. Wiscol goes through again then. Getting a little bit carried away through that turn. Wiscol back through to 4th. Will he hold on to it though? Okay, so just as we come back to the front, Mart is opening that time back up. 2.8 seconds now between him and Cally Tim. So I think, yeah, the BMW a little bit better through the turns. Ferrari a little bit faster top end. bit of work to do then, just over the halfway point of this final lap. Potkind, no position to go for a move just yet on Cali Tim, 1.4 seconds behind him. Wiskel then comfortably in fourth now, big gap behind him. Koenigschleiser, Phil T. McNasty's got it all wrong, he's dropped all the way to 7th. Eric Worms gets past, Koenigschleiser gets past. He's pushing Phil T. I think he's put too many dinosaurs on his car and they're just a little bit too wild for him. He might be able to get a position or two back yet, we'll see. Vossi then in 8th, 3.6 seconds behind Phil T. Ivanovski under pressure then from Ace Killer. And so he did get past Steve Urkel, looking to get past Ivanovski before the end of this race as well. Ended up with all the damage at the start of the race, Ace Killer. Engine gearbox was all broken, it fixed itself, and then he managed to get himself back up to speed, but I don't actually know what happened. Oh, Steve Urkel, a bit fast through there, hold on to it, brother. Whitty up to 12th, Sportificant down to 13th, then Sador 14th, Janice PG in 15th. Okay, leaders just coming up to this final straight now. Mark's lost a bit of time to Cali Tim, still not going to give him a tow, but we know that Ferrari's a bit quicker at full speed. We'll have a look at those top speeds. That opens to 2 seconds though, 2.1. Now then, what's that car going to do? 163, 164. The Ferrari. Well, very similar. I thought there was about a mile an hour between them, but 167 at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, the Ferrari's getting 169 down the hill. But it is going to be Mark that comes home to take race 1 win. Final corner to go. Led from the beginning then Mark. Time's yo-yoed, but he does see the checkered flag. Cali Tim comes home in 2nd. Potkind takes 3rd. Wiskel, gonna stupid camera. Wiskel takes 4th. Koenigschleiser 5th. Oh, Phil McNasty takes 6th. Eric Worms takes 7th. Vossi 8th. Ace Killer did get past Ivanovski. Should be able to hold on to that 9th as they cross the line. And does so. 9th for him then. Ivanovski in 10th. Steve Urkel round that final corner. He's going to come home for 11th. Whitty coming home in 12th. Sador 13th, started 2nd. Sador, oh, Sportificant gets the back end loose, going around that final turn for 14th. Just wait for Janice to get around this last turn. He has just crashed into the wall actually on that last little section, but 15th for him. There we go, race 1 in the bag, and it was Mart who took the win. Flipping heck, it's all been here tonight, people. Pole position, clean race, there it is. So it should be reverse grid for race 2. Flipping it, that's got to come off. It's too damn hot. That's going on as well, but oh. That's better. Bit of breeze. Apologies if it's a bit loud on the mic, but you know, needs must. Yeah, decent bit of racing there. A couple of little incidents. Be interesting to find out what happened to Ace Killer in that one. But there are official results from race 1. Then Mart at the top, Cali Tim 2nd, Potkind 3rd, Wiskel 4th, Koenigschleiser 5th, Phil T. McNasty having a terrible second half of the 2nd lap there. Dropped from 4th to 6th. Eric Worms 7th, Vossi in 8th, Ace Killer 9th, Ivanovsky in 10th, Steve Urkel in 11th, Whitty 12th, Sador in 13th, Sportificant in 14th, and Janice PG 15th. There we go, race 1 in the bag. Don't forget to check out the Just for Fun Driving Club website. It is German, but it will translate to English, so get yourselves over there. I'll pull it up in between this race and the next race. The next race coming up and the following race after that. I'll pull up the website so you can have a quick look. What's the Dodge Viper? Viper is fun, but y'all too fast. That's a quick lobby. Some very fast drivers in it. Sador opting for the Mustang for second race, then ditching the Beetle. Anybody else changing cars? So it is reverse grid then. Janice is going to start from the front. Sador, then Whitty, Ace Killer, Vossi, Phil T, Koenig, Schleiser, Wiskol, Potkind, Cali Tim. That's not quite right because these boys haven't picked cars yet. These will slot in somewhere. Eric Worms and Steve Urkel. I'll leave Mart at the back. What can he do from there? He's got a fair few drivers to try and get through. Always tricky here at Nords. It's not the widest of tracks. There are only really 1 or 2 opportunities for a proper overtake, you know, where you can physically go for it without getting semi-tangled up with anyone. But yeah, it's a difficult track. It takes a lot to learn it as well. It's a, what is it, 13 miles, whatever it is, 13, I don't know. It's ridiculous. 100 and something corners you've got to learn, and a lot of them look the same when you're coming up to them. If you don't race this track, a lot of the corners look the same. So it can be tricky. So Phil T. McNasty is sticking around. He's ditching the Viper though. He's going for the Ferrari this time. Wiskol's staying BMW. Those boys are staying in their first choice. Urkel's opted to ditch, what's that, the NSX for the Mercedes. Sador's opted for the Mustang instead of the Beetle. I think you'll find that might be a mile an hour too slow as well, the Mustang. It's not the quickest. 5 minutes, Eric Worms. I don't know whether you get to dictate how long that we spend before we go racing. Don't forget to press that like button as well, people, if you already haven't, and if you like what you're watching, then subscribe as well for more of this stuff. It's literally all I do on this channel is commentate over other people. So I don't think we've had an official start time for, oh yeah, yes we have, Potkind 25. Okay, you got a couple of minutes then. Again, reverse grid. It doesn't seem to have changed anything. Tyre wear and fuel consumption set at ×1. What's damage on light? So yeah, that does repair itself. Traction control. Get rid of it. GT3s at Nurburgring should be real men only. Therefore, traction control should be banned. Steve Urkel has left the room. Quite like saying his name as well. Let me take that off the screen before I forget. Boop. Eric Worms, better pick a car. Got a minute. Eric Worms has left the room. Okay. You coming back, Eric Worms, or not? But we are about to start race 2 here then. Exactly the same format, just reverse grid. No new drivers, just a couple of drivers left the lobby. So down to 11 then for race 2. Hopefully we get a couple more turning up again. Again, it always seems to happen during the race that drivers enter the lobby. And when you sat here waiting for the race to start, people don't turn up. It's amazing. Okay. Race 2. Counting down then. Let me in. So reverse grid, Janice is going to lead us out, or Yanis, followed by Sador, Witty, Ace Killer, Vossi, Phil T, McNasty, Koenigschleiser, Wiskol. It is then just Popkind, Cali, Tim and Mart. Lights go green then. We are away for race 2. Almost contact there between Janice and Sador. Janice sticking the brakes on very early into turn 1. Sador almost pummeling him up the rear end. Ace Killer. Have you made up a position already? No. No, Vossi all over the back of you. Oh, contact between him and Witty though. Witty getting sent. Ace Killer trying to squeeze up the inside. Who's that in the Ferrari? It's Phil T. McNasty. He's lit the rears up, sent that thing round. Witty comes back round. Phil T. McNasty ends up at the back of the pack. That's Sodor in the Mustang up front there. I'm sorry, it's a Jag. Apologies. Did you change that last minute? Sure, it said Mustang. Sneaky boy, but he's in the Jag, leading this race at the minute. Vossi into second position. Yanis drops to third. Koenigschleiser fourth. Ace Killer looking to come around the outside of him in fifth, potentially fourth. He's got a bit of a slipstream off Yanis coming into the left-hander. Does get through. Was a little bit of bumping and a banging. Oh, people are off. That's Yanis PG that's ended up in the gravel. I didn't see what happened there. It's just 4 drivers all looking for the same bit of tarmac coming into the hairpin. Unfortunately, Yanis PG, well, he's somewhere here, parked up at the side, steering violently to the right. Look, now to the left. Broken. So back to the front, we just see the lead of the race come under pressure. Sador then holding on to that first as Vossi looks to get past him. And having to brake early then. Drivers starting to bunch up behind. Ace Killer, Wiskol. Again, early braking from Sador. That's going to catch these drivers out. So they've just got to be careful when they're coming into these fast, or you know, the corners where they're carrying a lot of speed in. Here we go then. Vossi having a look up the inside. Does cut straight across, chops any chance of that attack coming back at him. Ace Killer finds the room through there as well. Amazing. Both drivers hitting something on the track, losing the tail end of the BMW. Sodor then holds on to that third position. 2 BMWs into the lead of the race. Sador third, under pressure from Koenigschleiser now in fourth. Cali Tim just carries the speed around that corner, being chased by Wiskol as well. They're both going to have a look past Koenigschleiser. Oh, Koenigschleiser leaving that door wide open. Ferrari through. Come on, camera. Wiskol unable to make that gap. But he is in a good position here to get a move on Koenigschleiser. But Koenigschleiser's now got a slipstream off of Cali Tim. Cali Tim got a slipstream off of Sador. They're all going to form a line and try and get past Sador. He's on the grass. Gets back on safely. Does look like he's trying to give room here. He is staying out of the way. Fair play to him. These boys, as you can see, just carrying so much more speed. Koenigschleiser, who did that last race. Oh, and Sador carries too much speed through there. He also ends up on the grass, but puts the power down too early. And that Jaguar goes round for him. So all change at the front then. It is now Vossi that leads. Ace Killer still hanging onto his rear bumper in second. Cali Tim in that Ferrari already up to third position, started third from the back. Wiskull in fourth. Koenigsschleiser fifth. Hopkind in sixth. Phil T. McNasty, we just catch him sticking the power down a little bit too hard coming out of the carousel. Lights the rears up on that Ferrari, around it goes, stays out of the way. These drivers come through. That's Whitty and Mark that go through. Shame for Phil T. He's not using traction control though, fair play to him. Sador then drops to 10th for that off-track action. Janice PG. Whoa. Catch him off track through there as well. Not getting on too well here at Nords. Cali Tim closing it rapidly on the two BMWs. Just 1.2 seconds behind them. Over the jump. Down the hill, through the double apex right, catch a little bit of air coming off this second left down here. Again, Ace Killer looking for a way past Vossi in front. On board with third place, Cali Tim, he hits the grass. Oh, we've got some glitching going on from Cali Tim. What? Hey, boy, that's... Oh, who knows? But whatever he's doing, he's catching up with the two BMWs in front, well within slipstream range now. Oh, Ace Killer! He lights the rears up, sends the tail of that BMW to the right, almost takes out Vossi. What is going on here? Look at the glitching going on. His car's driving sideways down the street. Who knows? Jeez. Imagine seeing that. Is that what he's got seeing in his rear view mirror? Just you don't even know where he's going to be, look. Oh, that could end up being chaos if he just ends up on an apex where people aren't expecting him. But Ace Killer using the slipstream then to get past Vossi. Look. Oh my. I mean, it's funny, but it just wrecks other people's races. It absolutely wrecks other people's races because, you know, 1 minute he's not there, the next minute he's there, and you're trying to turn in, and oh no, now you're both taken out. Ace Killer then through to the lead for the second lap. Vossi going to try and hang with him. Ferrari, if it doesn't glitch itself through to another dimension, see what happens with him. Holding third at the minute, Wiskull fourth again. Koenigsschleiser fifth, Hopkind Vectra in 6th, Mart in 7th, Whitty 8th, Phil T. McNasty in 9th, Sador 10th, Janice in 11th. A long way down actually. Janice spent a lot of time in that gravel. Not sure if he was struggling to get back on track or whether his steering wheel had packed in. Something wasn't working. Let's have a look. This is what this is what Vossi's seeing. He looks a little bit more stable at the minute. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Amazing, isn't it? Eh? Millions and millions of pounds spent on this game. Internet connections as fast as you could possibly want, and you've still got this crap going on. Amazing. Could be doing absolutely anything there. Who knows? Could be upside down at this point. You would never know. All I'm hearing is crashing and tyres screeching. But it's not real. Ace Killer then starts to open up a little bit of a gap between himself and Vossi. Oh, that's went too far. Cali Tim cracking out all over the place. What's going on? There's no inputs. He's in first gear. Wiscol goes through, Popkind Vector goes through, Mark goes through, Cali Tim is out. I think his internet connection has given up. He needs to put another couple of hamsters in the wheel. Mark through to 5th then. Koenigschleiser 6th, Phil T. McNasty 7th, Whitty 8th, Sador 9th and Janice in 10th. Ace Killer opening up more gap between himself and Vossi. If the missus is watching Netflix and you've got kids and they're probably gaming, you've got to kick them all off, Cali Tim. Give them 4G or something. Don't even give them 5G, give them 4G. BMW 1st, 2nd and 3rd, then 4th as well actually. 5th now actually, with Martin to 5th position. Beetle in 6th, Phil T. McNasty in the Ferrari in 7th, Whitty in the Porsche in 8th, Sador in that Jaguar in 9th, and Janice, forget what you were driving, oh, in the Porsche. Can Ace Killer hold this gap? Vossi a little far back at the minute, 1.8 seconds, so no slipstream on any of these faster sections. Loses a 10th through there. Ace Killer just finding more time here at Nords. Vossi can't keep with the pace. Wiscol trying his hardest, 4.9 seconds back in 3rd position at the moment. There is Popkind just 3.8 behind him. And the next man on track, 15.7 seconds. Mark, he did start from the back of the pack. Took a fair bit of time for him to get through the majority of them. Fortunately, he might just have to settle for 5th. He's 26 seconds behind race leader. Again, nearly 16 seconds behind Popkind in 4th. Koenigschleiser holding 6th. Phil T. McNasty taking his time through the carousel that time. Didn't want to spin it round. He's chasing down the Beetle in front. Getting ever closer. Again, just needs to stick within a second of Koenigschleiser in front, and he will pick up that slipstream onto the Dottinger Straight. Whitty in 8th then, Sador 9th, Janice in 10th. Vossi, little mistake from him, that gap opens all the way up to 3.3 seconds. Still under no direct threat from Wiscol behind, 5 seconds behind him still. It's starting to look good for Ace Killer, last few corners before he's just got to stamp his throttle. No worries about fuel, no worries about tyres in these 2-lap races. And onto the Dottinger Straight he comes then. Here comes Vossi, still 3.8 seconds back, so it's in the bag for Ace Killer, barring any mistakes at the top of the hill. Big gaps here tonight in race 2 then. I don't think there's... oh, these two are still pretty close. This might be about the only fight left on circuit. Yeah. Phil T. McNasty then. Round that last corner onto the Dottinger Straight, well within slipstream. The Beetle nowhere near as quick as anything else on the grid. It's definitely good through the curves, but loses an awful lot of time in this straight. Awful lot of miles an hour. Look how much power the Ferrari's carrying. Race leaders are crossing the line now though, just wanted to keep my eye on that, but it is Ace Killer that took the win. That's the wrong image. Vossi 2nd, Wiscol 3rd, Popkind taking 4th, Mart coming home in 5th. Big gap between top 4 and Mart here, 15 seconds. Phil T getting that overtake just on the Dottinger straight. Then Koenigsschleiser takes 6th. Koenigsschleiser comes home in 7th. Whitty will come home in 8th. Sador coming home 9th. And I don't even think we're going to see Janice over on the Dottinger straight yet. It's going to cut him out halfway up there, I think. Yeah, not sure what happened to Janice. There was him, I think it was Ace Killer, Vossi, Janice and potentially Koenigsschleiser, all battling for position heading down towards the hairpin, and then Janice was just backwards in the gravel. No idea what happened. We've lost Phil T. Will we see Janice see a checkered flag? Back up the hill, a couple of corners to go. Last corner. No, damn it. How annoying is that? Last corner and it cuts you off. There we go then, race 2 in the bag. There's the results. Look at all those BMWs. Why is your BMW different? Potkind, the endurance model, not the sprint model. It's Ace Killer up top, then Vossi 2nd, Wiskol 3rd, Potkind in 4th, Mart in 5th, Koenigsschleiser 6th, Whitty 7th, Sador 8th, Janice in 9th, Cali Tim DNF'd, and Phil T McNasty. I thought you crossed the line. You did cross the line, but then left the lobby. That's why I came in behind Koenigsschleiser. In front of Koenigsschleiser, apologies. There we go. Race 2 in the bag. Right, I was going to show you the Just for Fun Driving website, wasn't I? So let me just snaggle that in here. Boop. And then give it a little bit of... Is that what I'm doing? No, that's what I'm doing. There we go. There you go. So it does translate into English. And check them out. Official Discord servers, all that sort of stuff. Contact them. Daily driving, all that sort of stuff. Pictures and videos, upcoming events, tips and tricks, kit to have, that sort of stuff. Contact pages for all their email and stuff, and websites and stuff and more things. And then this is the most important page because it's got me on there. Look, that's my little logo just there. So go and check them out, show them some love, send them a little message, get yourself involved if you're not already. Why wouldn't you? Alright, Just for Fun Driving Club.de is what it is. Turn that off. It's just there. Bam. www.justforfundrivingclub.de. Go and check them out. Oh, turned completely the wrong thing off. Okay, we're back. We're back. Much too fast for me, says Sador. Flo joined the room. Flo has left the room. He's true, Sador. Mark's right. Keep going. Follow faster drivers. You will only get quicker. Cali Tim's back. He was just going to change the oil in his Ferrari. That's what he was doing. And making a quick job of it as well. Yeah, he's right, Sador. You follow faster drivers, you'll just suddenly realise that, okay, you'll see them taking a line and you go, huh? I don't take that line, I take a much wider line or whatever. Now, you'll crash the first few times you try that line because you're not used to what the car's going to do. You're not used to the exit at that angle or whatever. But corner by corner, you'll get it. You'll get it. 2 years, I would say 2 years to learn it properly, inside and out, upside and down, everything. It's yeah, it's a hard track. Again, a lot of corners looking very similar. Easy to get caught out here. Massive curbs. Yeah. But when you get it right, it's such a good feeling. When you get a good lap in, it doesn't have to be the perfect lap. It doesn't have to be the perfect lap. It just has to be a good lap. One that you feel good about. You didn't spin off track, you weren't ripping around on the grass or anything like that. And then it will just get better and better and better. It takes a damn long time, believe you me. Okay, drivers popping in all over the place. Callie Tim returning, SpongeBob Skill 21 turning up, and The Bronze. The Bronze in the house, interesting name. Callie Tim back in the Ferrari, Porsche for SpongeBob Skill. Interesting to know what The Bronze goes for. It's got to be quick though. Got to be quick, otherwise it's going to be left out. Wiscol, no! The Bronze, BMW. Wiscol, yeah, he's in. He's back in the BMW. 12 drivers on track then. Anything you want. Any tyre you want. Sador opted for the Mercedes this race. Like crashing into the wall there. Most people on 2 laps should stick with the soft tyres. They're not going to wear out. Callie Tim's left the room. Okay. No Callie Tim then. So another reverse grid. Janice starts from the front again. Sador second, Whitty third, Koenigschleiser fourth, Mark fifth, Popkind sixth, Wiscol seventh, Vossi in eighth, Ace Killer ninth, The Bronze 10th, and SpongeBob in 11th. Lights on then. Race 3 underway. Sador. Oh, late dive. Janice gets a bit of a wobble on through there. Sador backs off. There's a couple of drivers to come through. Whitty goes through. Koenigschleiser, Mart. Popkind gets through. Oh, Sador back up to full speed. Vossi almost drives himself off track through there. He's now being hunted by the Bronze. And SpongeBob Skill. Oh, SpongeBob Skill struggling here. Yeah. Struggling so hard he has left the room. Whitty then leads the race. Koenigschleiser, the little brother with the Porsche, tucked up behind him. Mart into third, Popkind fourth. Sador back into fifth position. Battle happening behind. Ace Killer just getting his way past Wiscol. I'm not sure if they were side by side or if it was Janice that was getting harassed. Ace Killer now having a look at the inside of Sador. He's got the inside line into this next turn as well. This is where it all went wrong for Janice earlier. The drivers carrying so much speed down here, trying to vie for position, 4 of them. Oh no, Whitty's got it wrong on the exit. Where is he? Oh, he's at the back of the pack now, Whitty. Oh, he was doing alright, he was leading this one. Put his foot down a little bit too hard coming out of the hairpin there. And sent him. So Koenigschleiser leads, but Mart looking for a way past. Oh, right up his rear end. Oh no, what happened to him? Is there a little bit of contact maybe? Looked like he steered himself onto the grass. Potkind right up his rear end though, both chasing down the Beetle in front. Ace Killer through to 4th as well, Whiskol 5th, Vossi in 6th. Oh, Ace Killer off track through there, not sure what happened. There's another driver off, it's Sador off track again. Oh, he's picked up half a second penalty as well. Back of the pack, damage on that car. Doesn't seem to matter what car he chooses, it doesn't seem to grip up too well for him. Koenigsschleiser holding on to the lead of this race though, 0.5 of a second between him and second place, Mart. Getting close to one of the overtaking opportunities here. So big push down here to hang on to the back end of Koenigsschleiser, through the next left into an almost hairpin right. Hard on the brakes. Needs a good exit out of here, Mark. He gets one. Koenigsschleiser, both drivers on the grass actually. They'll be able to go for an overtake. Is Mark close enough? 0.3 of a second. Slipstream starting to work now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to go for an overtake down this section. Blocking the track a little bit there, Koenigsschleiser. Both drivers staying on track through there. Almost off track for Koenigsschleiser. Mark then finds the gap up the inside. Gets the power down as well. Gets into the lead of the race. Can he pull away from Koenigsschleiser? Get a little bit of a gap between himself and Potkind. Potkind dives up the inside. Koenigsschleiser almost pulls out the way. Looked like he just physically got out of the way of Potkind there. Whiskol 4th then, Ace Killer still 5th, Vossi still 6th, Whitty in 7th, Yanis in 8th, De Bronze in 9th, Sador still that half a second penalty, still got to lose that on the Dottinger straight as well, 22 seconds behind De Bronze. So it'd be interesting to know if there's any difference in terms of the differences between these two cars up front, first and second. So Mart is in the BMW M6 Sprint edition, and Potkind is in the Endurance edition. I don't know what the differences are, if any. Very similarly matched at the minute. Mart though needs to break that toe between himself and Potkind Vectra before they get onto the Dottinger straight. He does it through there. So it needs to be just below a second to pick up any kind of slipstream on the straights. Mart gets it done. Just as we get to the mini carousel. Loses a little bit of time through there. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed the mini carousel. It's going to be Koenigsschleiser and Potkind battling it out as they head up towards Swallowtail. Potkind holds the line, but here comes Ace Killer. Look how much time he's managed to make up on these two, and the speed he's carrying on the exit of that turn, way more than the two drivers in front, easily past Koenigsschleiser. Tucks himself straight into the slipstream of Potkind Vectra here as well, closing up now, should be able to get the overtake. The inside. There's not going to be an opportunity for Potkind to use that slipstream to get back now. I'll say that. Is that the difference between these two, the Endurance and the Sprint? That this is a mile an hour too quicker. Ace Killer's still got the inside line coming through these next couple of turns. Does just hang on to that second place. Koenigsschleiser sees they're both travelling a bit slow, has a go back at Potkind Vectra, carries the speed. leaves the door wide open, but he does slot himself into third position. So Mart then escapes up front, 3.4 seconds. Ace Killer, next man on track, followed by Koenigsleiser, followed by Potkind Vectra in fourth. Vossi in fifth, just 1.8 seconds behind the three drivers in front. Whitty in sixth, the Bronzo all over the back of him. Again, difficult track to overtake on. Whitty holding his own at the minute. Oh, a little bit wide through there. Keeps it into this next corner though. But the Bronze carrying all sorts of speed up here. Oh, he's giving Whitty a little bit of a bump draft up the hill. Has that caught him out? No, he stays on track, Whitty. Bronze carrying more speed down here again. Goes for the overtake this time. Through, but here comes Wiscol. He's dropped himself all the way down to 8th position. Must have had some off-track action somewhere. Carrying loads of speed into that hairpin, but he is still sitting in 8th position. Just Sador behind him. Lost that penalty now. Went off track at the halfway point of lap 1. Did Sador. Picked up a half a second penalty at the same time. So, race lead drops a little bit. Mart. That gap now sits at 2.9 seconds between him and Ace Killer. Takes half a second out of race leader then, Ace Killer. Koenigsleiser holding on to that third place, keeping Potkind Vectra firmly behind him for the time being. Oof, onto the grass there for Potkind. And look at this, Vossi catching up with the pair of them. Almost 1.8 seconds, it's down to less than a second. He's found some pace here then, Vossi. That gap yo-yo and then between first and second drops to 2.4 seconds. Koenigsleiser still third, Potkind still fourth. Vossi getting himself involved in the action now. The Bronze then through to 6th position. Wiscol through to 7th, both past Whitty. Whitty 8th. Sador in 9th then. Callie Tim has rejoined the room. He's kicked the rest of the household off the internet. Now, can Mart hold this lead? 1.7 seconds, so it's dropping. Through the right-hander then, up towards the carousel. Ace Killer keeps him within striking distance just about. Still pulling away from Koenigsleiser in third though. Potkind in fourth, not been able to get back past the Beetle yet. Vossi still hanging on in there in fifth. Big old gap back to Bronze though, 12.6 seconds back to the 6th place driver. Wiscol followed him through that crowd of people though, into 7th, just 1.9 behind him. Whitty in 8th, just getting overtaken by those two, and Sador is still at the back. Jump back to the front then, that gap comes down again, 1.3 seconds. Ace Killer pushing then. He'll be within tow range by the time they hit the Dottinger Straight for sure at this pace. He does get within slipstream range now then, Ace Killer. to 3/4 of a second. Closes up again through there. Drops to less than half as they hit the mini carousel. Mart pushes it too wide off there. Yeah, onto the grass he goes. Ace Killer given the position then. He'll only pull away. Mart won't be carrying anywhere near as much speed through these turns. He's not able to pick up the slipstream. I don't know, he's just got a little bit. No, it's going to be Ace Killer's. Gap still above a second as they come over the top of the hill. It's not going to be enough to close the gap up now, even though he has fallen back into slipstream range for Mart. It will be Ace Killer that crosses the line first. Ooh. Barring any mistakes through these last couple of corners anyway. But there they go then, Ace Killer taking the win, Mart coming home in second, Potkind finally getting past Koenigschleiser taking third, Vossi also doing the same thing, taking fourth, Koenigschleiser coming home in fifth, the bronze taking sixth. Oof, Wiscol. There is the bronze, there comes Wiscol, coasting. He's not out of fuel, but he does take seventh. Whitty then coming home in eighth position. We'll just wait for Sador. There he goes, taking ninth position then. Ace Killer that takes race 3 win here tonight then. There we go. Official results. Ace Killer up front. Mart second, Potkind third, Vossi fourth, Koenigschleiser fifth, the bronze sixth, Wiscol seventh, Whitty eighth, Sador in ninth. We lost a SpongeBob Skill 21 and we lost a Janice as well, DNF'd. Okay. Couple of new drivers turned up. Let's have a look here. We've got iLuke F27. We've got Elmo with a Draco, BTTF Fan, and S1 Joe 212 joined the lobby. If S1 Joe picks a car. BTTF Fan has gone for the Ford GT. Interesting choice. Got a 458 Italia in the room. Elmo's gone with an NSX. Oh. Check my phone, bro. Yes, bro. Yeah. Yes, it is. You know you could have just typed that in the chat, right? You ain't got to text me and then tell me you've texted me in the chat, dude. Just type it in the chat. Cheat code. Look just here. Cheat code. Cheat code joined the lobby. Gerfunturismo is in the house. Robbed Bacon is in the house as well. And the Lexus RC. Right, old choice. Got a GTR. Yep, that's cheat code. Now, what are you going to pick, Sador? Every car you've driven, please set me at the back. Yeah. Every car you've driven, you've crashed. Oh. Well, then what you should be doing is watching it on your TV whilst also watching it on the phone and texting on the phone. All right? You were on your phone anyway, damn it. That's how you texted me. And then you've still put something in the chat. Explain it, Dan. Explain it. Make that make sense. Ah, that's what happened to Whiskull. He pulled over, or let TOR, or I assume that's Ace Killer, and crashed. Yeah, Sodor wants to be put at the back. He's not getting on well tonight. Yeah, Ace Killer's also one of my mates as well, Dan, if you weren't sure. But that's all I know. The rest of them are randomers. If Potter McPot turns up, I don't. Well, he might actually. He might turn up late. Also another one of my buddies. You'll know because they're all in this liveried BMW. So you might see 3 of them. You're not seeing double or triple. It is the same livery. Near us, damn it. No, Sador wants to go at the back. Not second. There you go. There he is. Just got to wait for Vossi to put a car in. In the Beetle though for Sador. Waiting for Whiskull again. What's going on? Still no car for Vossi either. I've lost an elbow. There you go, look, it's in the chat already. Tranquillo et toi. Does that mean chill out? Tranquilo. Means like relaxed, doesn't it? Tranquil. Chilling. Okay. Race 4 just about to get underway. Let's get ourselves in. Turn the nonsense on quickly. There's that little 458. Got a little car that. It's decent in GT4 format as well. Slightly less aero. Nowhere near as big a wing on it, but still quite a decent motor. Oh, let's see how Luke gets on with that in the race. Okay, so it is going to be Robbed Bacon up front. Cheat Code second, S1 Joe third, Luke fourth, Cali Tim fifth. What are you in, Cali Tim? Have you gone back in the Ferrari? Yes, you have. I can see the headlights. Okay, lights on then for race 4. What can Robbed Bacon do at the front in the Lexus? Somebody holding on to the revs for an awful long time before dropping the clutch. Oh. Luke not getting on too well in that Ferrari then. Okay, so Robbed Bacon did hold the lead coming into turn 1, the next couple of corners as well. He's held on to that. Cheat Code is holding on to second position. S1 Joe third. Cali Tim in fourth. Oh, Luke off track. Witty off track. Oh my god. Luke has left the room. So, Cali Tim, where were we? Whiskull now in 5th, Koenigschleiser in 6th, Witty 7th, Mart in 8th, Potkind in 9th, Ace Killer in 10th, Sador 11th and the bronze in 12th. And we've just lost a BTTF fan as well. He's decided to dip out. Obviously not getting on too well with that 4GT. Robbed Bacon then defending. Cheat code right behind him, coming into the hairpin, almost pushing him on the way out. Big G's at the bottom of the hill. Tricky little set of corners these, easy to get them wrong. Doing alright though, Robbed. A little bit wide through there. Doesn't give Cheat Code any opportunity to go for a move though. S1 Joe holding that third, also being harassed by Cali Tim. A little BMW Z4 as well for S1 Joe. Not cleanly through there though. Cali Tim right up his rear end now. Not able. Finds a little tiny gap at the inside. Oh, S1 Joe ends off track though. Maybe a little bit hard through there, Cali Tim. Oh, S1 Joe lights the rears up coming through there though. Schleicher goes through, Mark goes through. Oh no, who's that? It was the bronze that just lit the rears up on the Audi. Sandor, we've just seen pulling it out of the wall. Whitty in 11th, and Wiscol backwards as well. He looks quick, Wiscol, but seems to be picking up one or two mistakes. Stolen Pigs then up front. Cheat Code sticking with him in that GTR. 0.7 of a second behind at the minute. Cali Tim in that Ferrari again. One of the faster cars in this lobby, the Ferrari. Not quite so quick through the twisty turnies, but very fast on the open sections. Schleicher in 4th in that Beetle. Mart's pressuring him at the minute. Big gap behind Mart though to Potkind. He's having a little battle of his own with Ace Killer here. Ace Killer carries a little bit too much speed through there. He's got to be careful through this next turn. Dirty tyres on the outside. Oh, there you go, a little bit of a sketch on the way out. That's just picking up a bit of that dirt on the tyres. Unable to get any kind of move on Potkind running up the hill. Mart as well, still stuck behind Koenig Schleicher. So S1 Joe still holding that 8th. The bronze right behind him in 9th in the Audi. Sador 10th in that Beetle, Whitty 11th, big gaps at the back, and Wiscol then another 11th, 0.3 seconds back in 12th. Again, seems quick in places, but then just every time we flick around to him, we find him peeling in that BMW out of a wall for some reason. So the Lexus doing all right at the minute, holding its own. But look at this, Cali Tim bringing that gap down massively in that Ferrari. Needs to close up a little bit with Cheat Code to pick up that toe onto the Dottinger straight. He's got a few corners to go to try and do that. Robbed Bacon though has managed to open that gap up enough to drop the slipstream for Cheat Code here. So could be under a bit of pressure coming onto this Dottinger straight then. He's lost the slipstream in front. Almost giving the slipstream to Cali Tim behind. He is at this point. Look how much closer he is. And you'll just see him carry that speed. The Ferrari way quicker than everything else. Already catching up on the exit, down to 0.4 of a second. No slipstream for cheat code here. Ferrari picks up that 6th gear, stamps the throttle, peels out, goes for the overtake. Cheat code tucks himself into the slipstream of the Ferrari. He's still pulling away a little bit. Slingshots his way past cheat code, still 1.3 seconds behind Robbed Bacon in front. He's got a lap to try and bring that down though. The Ferrari quick. Is it as quick as the Lexus? Cheat code hangs on to the slipstream of Cali Tim though. Might be able to bring it back to him in the twisty turny sections. Again, the Ferrari not quite as fast through there. Mark through to 4th then, finally gets past Koenigsschleiser. Ace Killer as well, finally past Potkind. Not too far off the back of Koenigsschleiser either, Ace Killer, just a second behind him. Should be able to bring that time down. Drag Potkind along for the ride. S1 Joe then in that Z4 out on his own. 8.5 seconds behind Potkind, 7 seconds ahead of Sandor. And there is Sandor in the purple BMW, still being hounded by the bronze in the Audi R8. Whitty 11th, and there is a Wiscol not pulling that BMW out of the wall. Long can Robbed Bacon hang on to this lead then? A gap down to half a second between himself and the Ferrari. Still got cheat code for company though. Still at 0.6. Cheat code not coming back quite yet. Again, difficult part of the circuit to go for overtakes around this. A left into a right, into a left, into a right, a little bit of a straight down here, but you've got to be absolutely perfect on your exit to go for a move. Still nowhere to overtake just yet for Cali Tim. Drivers joining the room, drivers leaving the room. Again, always seems to happen during the race, not actually during when, you know, the down period in between races. Gap opening a little bit to cheat code behind. He's got to be careful, doesn't want to lose the toe for these two. Okay, Mart then in 4th. 1.5 seconds between himself and Koenigsschleiser. The two BMWs still tucked into the rear wing of that Beetle. He's making it work at the minute, Koenigsschleiser. He'll struggle on the straighter sections. Not quite as quick as the rest of the field, the Beetle. Oh, it's not going to help. He's making mistakes like that either. Ace Killer goes through, Potkind goes through. Oh no, Ace Killer doesn't go through. He goes a little bit too hard through that turn. Sticks the wheel on the grass. The BMW goes round. No damage on that car, luckily, but he does lose those positions again. Potkind goes through. Koenigsschleiser goes through, and he's got to get himself up to full race pace as well. It's one of the faster parts of the circuit. This is not where you want to be starting from zero. Might still be able to take it to Koenigsschleiser. We'll see. We are halfway around lap 2, so it might be difficult. S1 Joe starts to see headlights tucking up behind him then. Got Sador and the bronze slowly closing up on him. Whitty 11 seconds behind him, and here is Wiscol tucked under the rear wing of that Porsche. Goes for a move. Trying to run around the outside through there. Still Whitty that holds on to it. Gets the move now, but it might be a little bit too late. Oh, Whitty tried to come back across to defend. That was far too much of a violent move though, that was. Threw himself off track, unfortunately. Wiscol goes through. Whitty ends up with all the damage on that car, but it will repair itself. Rob Bacon then still feeling the pressure from the Ferrari up front. Half a second, a little bit wide through there. All the lights in the world on that Ferrari. Getting ever closer, 0.3 of a second. Make short work of that Lexus on the Dottinger straight, I think. Again, difficult to overtake down here. Through the double right-hander, through the left, back down the hill. Potential opportunity to overtake on this section, but you've got to... The other driver's almost got to know you're coming through and almost allow you past. I mean, look how much speed he's carrying. Just has to back off through there. Can't go for the move around the outside. Both drivers tentative on the throttle through there. Into the mini carousel. Gap opens up a little bit, still within slipstream range though for Cali Tim. Bacon though, good exit onto the Dottinger straights. Don't know if it's going to be enough though. Cali Tim 3/4 of a second behind him, so will be picking up that toe. Cheat Code also just within slipstream range. Don't know whether he's going to gain any advantage though. That Ferrari just going to close up too quick on Rob Bacon in front. He's going to fall out of slipstream range in a second. Cheat Code. Cali Tim then has a little look for the move, trying to carry the speed around the outside. He does get through into the lead of the race. He goes then. Rob Bacon has to settle for second. Cheat Code falls out of that slipstream range. Pushing hard at the end then Rob Bacon. But it is Cali Tim that takes the win. Rob Bacon comes home in second. Cheat Code comes home in at third position. Mark takes fourth, not actually that far back in the end, 7.4 seconds. Potkind taking fifth. Ace Killer off track on that final turn. Does he lose the position? No, he holds on to it. Ace Killer takes sixth then. Koenigschleiser seventh. S1 Joe is going to take eighth. Sado on the bronze closed up on him rapidly at the end of that race, so 9th and 10th for those two. Wiscol going to come home in 11th. Always coasting across the line. Wiscol saving fuel, something like that, and then we just wait for Whitty on the Dottinger straight now. Stay hydrated, people. Back on the whiskey and coke tonight, not the beers. Now, is Whitty going to see a checkered flag in this race? I think he's close enough. Last corner for him then. Here he goes. Checkered flag for Whitty. There it is, race 4 in the bag. So, are we going to see 1 or 2 more races? There he is, Cali Tim up top. It was hard fought, it took him a while, but he got there in the end. Official results then, Cali Tim up front, Rob Bacon in second, Cheat Code third, Martin fourth, Potkind in fifth, Ace Killer sixth, Koenigschleiser 7th, S1 Joe in 8th, Sador in 9th, the bronze in 10th, Wiscol 11th, Whitty 12th, and we lost very early on. iLuke F27 and BTTF Fan, both DNF'd. I don't think they got round turn 2, either of them. Oh well. Did Whitty take out Ace Killer accidentally? Did he? Did he clap him? Okay, so we might see 1, we might see 2 races yet, we'll see. What are you doing? Don't forget to check out the website Just4Fun Driving Club.de. It will translate to English if you want English. I suppose it will translate to any language you search it from, won't it? Clever Google. But yeah, go check them out. Just4Fun Driving Club. There it is. Just4FunDrivingClub.de. Tell them I sent you. So what time? Do we see a time? I don't think that's been... Oh, 28. Yeah, we have been given a time. Okay. What time were we given for this previous race? Come on. Stop it. Stop typing stuff. You're ruining it for me. Come on. Oh, sod it. They're not going to let me do it. Okay, looks like Sador might be leaving us. Not guaranteed. Anyone want to make an attempt at how to say that? It's going to have to be Leaf Barn. That's probably exactly how you say it, knowing my luck. Is that it? Oh, is that Die Gazelle in the room? Yeah. Yeah, a new driver. S1 Joe as well, hanging about. Whoa, we've got Cornington just joined the room. Will he stick around though? That's the question. There he is. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't, people. All helps. Little comments. Chuck a thumbs up in there for us. Much appreciated. Teeny tiny channel, you know, very niche. Never going to be millions of subscribers, but the more the merrier. Okay, everyone in a car. Cornington's gone Porsche. The bronze, what have you gone for this time? The Supra in this race. Okay, Wiscol sticking with the BMW. Leaf Barn 458 Ferrari, and Die Gazelle has gone Porsche as well. S1 Joe's got rid of the Z4, he's now in the Audi R8. Anybody else swapped cars? I don't think so. Popcar, no. Oh, Cheat Code's gone for a Ferrari as well. Maybe the cheat code he puts in doesn't work too well for the Nissan GTR. We'll see. So again, not sure. This could potentially be last race. We're going to be close. Full lobby for the, well, potentially the last race, full lobby. That's good. That's what we like. And obviously, have you? Christ Almighty! Let me get some words out. As you can see, a lot of the drivers have hung about because they know it's a decent lobby. It's, you know, it's clean, fair racing. Okay, there's incidents, there's accidents. We do actually expect you to, you know, if you cause an accident, we expect you to pull over, even if it screws your race up. Tough, drive cleaner. That's kind of the motto. If you know, don't do that. Don't do that into other people. You can do that on your own all you want, but just don't do it into everybody else. Okay, race 5 just about to get underway. Reverse grid again, so new drivers start from the front. So Die Gazelle followed by Leaf Barn, Whitty, Wiscol, the bronze, S1 Joe, Koenigschleiser, Ace Killer. Lights go red then. Oh, we've got a reverse in. Is that Whitty? Whitty's going backwards on the line. What are you doing, brother? He's got rear end damage already, which means Koenigschleiser's got front end damage with a little bit of contact between those two, just off the line. Whitty causing chaos already. Okay, back to the front. Die Gazelle sliding his Porsche through turn 4. Hanging on to that lead though. Leafbarn right behind him in that 458. Wiscol trying to keep with the pace. He's been backwards a few times unfortunately. Oof, nearly loses it through there. The Bronze then in 4th. Positions changing all over the place. S1 Joe 5th, Koenigschleiser 6th, Ace Killer 7th, Whitty in Hotkind in 8th, sorry. Whitty 9th. Cheat Code in 10th, but getting held up there by Whitty. Oh, Ace Killer. Oh, sorry, was that Mark getting tangled up there as well? I think Whitty's causing chaos. Cornington 12th, Ace Killer in 13th. He's got front end damage. Yeah, I think he had a little bit of contact with Whitty coming through there. And Vossi in 14th. Wow. Gazelle though hangs on to the lead. Leafbarn in the Ferrari falls away from him a little bit, comes under increased pressure from Wiscol in 3rd. Bronze in 4th in that Supra. Buzzing Hornets. And now if you're old school you'll know exactly what that livery means. The originals were banned because they were a bad influence on children, so they blagged their way around it by doing stuff like this. And then I think they got oh, looks like Mark's been taken out. Quanto from last week, he's joined, but he'll miss this race unfortunately. S1 Joe 5th then, Koenigschleiser 6th, Popkind 7th, Robbed Bacon in 8th, Cornington 9th, Ace Killer in 10th, Cheat Code in 11th, Mart in 12th. Sounds like he's been tagged somewhere as well. Whitty 13th and Vossi still 14th. Die Gazelle doing alright though up front in that Porsche, pulling away from Leafbarn. 1.2 seconds, no slipstream for the Ferrari behind then. Oof. Gets a little wobble on through there. Wiscol well within tow range. Let's have a look at the Bronze, shall we? Buzzing Hornets. What on earth could that be? Something and something. Usually it was gold, more gold than that. And it's not German, although they might be sold in Germany. Look at this pile of maniacs coming down here. Cornington's got a 4 seconds penalty. He's lobbed a rock at a marshal or something. He's under threat though. Ace Killer, S1 Joe and Cheat Code all looking for a way past him. He's being a little bit of a cork at the minute, is Cornington. He's only going to lose that penalty and be way behind him anyway. 4 seconds. Oh, he's ended up off track through there. Ace Killer runs up the hill. Does he stay ahead of S1 Joe? He does. Drops himself into the carousel. S1 Joe slots himself in just in front of Cheat Code. And they all get onto that banked part of the circuit fine. Cornington then struggling through there. Now got Mark right behind him. Oh, almost squeezing one up the inside there for Mark. Not quite been able to make it past Cornington just yet. Cornington taking very defensive lines though. It's got to be frustrating. Stuck behind a slower driver on this circuit. Whitty 13th then. Vossi right up his rear end. Oh, not anymore. Whitty comes under pressure from Vossi. It's enough to put him off track. No contact between the two, but just that pressure was enough for Whitty to get it wrong. Look at this, Die Gazelle making it look easy at the minute. Holding that 1.4 seconds over Leaf Barn. Westgold keeping him right there as well. Coming to the end of lap 1 then. Buzzing Hornets. Not been able to close the gap up on the top 3 at the minute. 2.8 seconds behind. He has been closed up by Potkind though in the BMW. Koenigsleiser coming under threat himself in 6th place, but he has got robbed Bacon right behind him. I've got to say, I do like Koenigsleiser's blue stripe though. Let's go and have a look at Koenigsleiser's blue stripe on his car. Can't quite see it. In fact, where do we need to be? You can't see it. It does say, that blue stripe does say dark smoker across his lid. Just not getting a good angle of it. Look at the speed though that Lexus is carrying past him. Again, the Beetle, look at it, 161, 162 miles an hour. We've seen the BMW, the Ferrari almost hit 170 along this straight. Oh, he's got an extra gear as well. Where's that come from? Why haven't you been using that all night? Tell me you have 7 gears. Should be in that way earlier. Okay, into lap 2 then of race 5. It is still Die Gazelle that leads. 2.3 seconds over Leaf Barn. He's still under a bit of pressure here from Westgold. Potkind, oh no, sorry, apologies. The bronze is starting to close that gap down on these two. I wonder if the top end on this thing is absolutely stupendous and he was able to close the gap up the Dottinger straight. Try and remember to come back to him on the Dottinger on the end of this lap. See what speed he's pulling. Potkind then holding 5th, Rob Bacon 6th, Ace Killer in 7th, Cheat Code in 8th, S1 Joe in 9th, Martin 10th, Rossi 11th, Koenigsleiser drops to 12th, more damage on that Beetle, Whitty in 13th, Cornington 14th, losing that 4-second penalty. He's put a right dent in his race. But he dropped down to about 50 miles an hour on that long fast back straight. Kelly Tim still holding plenty of time between himself and Leaf Barn. 2.3 seconds. Safely through there. Leaf Barn safely through there as well, but he has got Westgold literally underneath his rear wing at the minute. The bronze still not out of this yet. That gap has opened up a little bit, but it's only 1.9 seconds, 2 seconds now between himself and Westgold. Plenty of time between himself and Potkind for the time being. Oh, he's got even more now. Bacon squeezes his way through then. Potkind not able to get that BMW back up to full race pace straight away. Dirty tyres not allowing him to put the throttle down. So that brings Ace Killer back into the picture. He's just 0.8 of a second behind Potkind now. Cheat Code another 5 seconds behind him. S1 Joe 1.3 seconds back. There is Mart tucked under his rear wing in 10th. Those drivers joining and leaving. Don't see that in the downtime. Vossi then through to 11th, Koenigsleiser 12th, Whitty 13th, Cornington 14th. 6.5 seconds back. Can he close up on Whitty? Time hasn't faltered really. 2.6 seconds between Die Gazelle and Leaf Barn. Very closely matched then. Whiscall in a great position here though. Any slight mistake or deviation from race line, Whiscall's going to stick his nose up the inside of that Ferrari. Have a good old sniff for that second position. The bronze unfortunately falls further back through the twisties. That gap stretches to 2.7 seconds. Rob Bacon in 5th. 2.8 seconds behind him. Ace Killer another 2.6 seconds back. It's Popkind Vectra that's got it all wrong somewhere. He's dropped all the way to 7th. Under a little bit of pressure from Cheat Code behind him. And there's Mart, only another 2.8 seconds back, but running out of corners here for these drivers. Reasonably close between these two. I think Vossi's just got past S1J, so not sure that S1J's got the pace to stick with Vossi. Whoa! No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Audi goes round. Koenigsschleiser sneaks his way through as well. S1Joe in 12th then. Whitty still 13th and Cornington still 15th. Look at this now, that gap opened up massively. 3.4 seconds between Digazelle and Leaf Barn. Leaf Barn also has managed to open the gap between himself and Whiscall as well. Whiscall's made a slight mistake somewhere. The gap opens up to 1.2 seconds. And he's got the bronze not too far behind him, just 1.5 seconds back. So, where is the sort of closest battle? They're all very similar really, a couple of seconds between them all. Reasonably big gaps at the back. So Digazelle then onto the Dottinger straight, stamps the throttle into 6th. Leaf Barn holding 2nd. He's got enough space between himself and Whiscall as well. Whiscall just giving a slipstream to the bronze. And the bronze, the little coupe does look a bit quick here. 169 as it hits the brow of the hill. 173, 174, 175 on the way down the hill. Oh, he's going for a move on Whiscall, but a little bit too late coming up that hill. But it is going to be Digazelle that comes home to take the win in race 5. Leaf Barn holds on to 2nd. Whiscall holds on to 3rd. The bronze backwards across the line, almost taking that 3rd, but not quite. Rob Bacon comes home in 5th. Ace Killer 6th. Popkind takes 7th. Cheat Code comes home in 9th position. Mart takes 8th for Cheat Code. Mart takes 9th. Vossi comes home to take 10th. Koenigsschleiser 11th. Big mistakes from him halfway through. Same for S1 Joe, 12th place. Whitty, last turn to go. Takes 13th. Unfortunately, Cornington has lost more time to Whitty. 5-second gap stretches to 12 seconds then. Round that last corner. Taking 14th. So did we lose a driver from that one or did we start with 14? I think we lost a driver. Was it Callie Tim? Digazelle up the front then. Leaf Barn in 2nd. Whiscall 3rd. The bronze 4th. Rob Bacon 5th. Ace Killer 6th. Popkind 7th. Cheat Code in 8th. Got Mart in 9th. Vossi 10th. Koenigsschleiser in 11th. S1 Joe 12th. Whitty 13th. And Cornington 14th. No, we started with 14 drivers. Well, there you go. There you go. Any more for any more? Yeah, Grinaru. Okay, one more race. Let me just tell them. No, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. No, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing either. One more. Boom. Four more minutes then, and we'll see the final race out of the evening. Oh, we've lost cheat code. But Callie Tim's rejoined us. Hopefully his internet connection's a bit better. No problem. Gurfun Tourism cheat code. Oh, we might be losing Whiskol as well. Thanks, Ace Killer. This happened last week as well, with everyone congratulating me. It was my birthday last week, but there's no need for it this week. Pack it in, Ace Killer. You know you've got volume control, Dan. You can turn one of them up or down. Yeah, so we've lost a Whiskol, we've gained a McBuzzy. Okay, Graneru has chosen the Beetle. Oh, we know that's not super quick. And McBuzzy, what the bloody hell's that? BRZ GT300? What is that thing? BRZ. Why do I know that car? Can we have a look at it? He's not on track. Is he? Is that McBuzzy? There he is. Toyota. What is it? Subaru BRZ. Of course. There you go. Not one you see on this track. Nice Hello Kitty livery on it as well. Look, let's have a good old gander at that, shall we? Amazing what you can do with these liveries these days. The bronze opted for the Mercedes standard livery in that one. Gazelle back in the Porsche. Cornington back in the Porsche as well. So we'll wait for last race to kick off then. Just about to say that's not race pace, he's on half throttle. What? Last race, fast grid. Okay. So I think that's going to be... Is that winners? What? It's pretty much all the fast boys at the front. Everybody else at the back. Callie Tim, he should be a little bit further forward, I think. Last race, fast grid. So I think that means he's going to put all the sort of quicker drivers towards the front. That's what should be happening. Callie Tim, I'll do my best. Okay. Countdown begins for the final race of the evening. Jackie Boy, all the sixes, far too late. Here we go. Right, let's get ourselves to the front. So yeah, fast boys then at the front. Ace Killer, Leaf Barn, Mart, Rob Bacon, Vossi, Koenigschleiser, Potkind. Cali Tim should be in the thick of it, I think, really, but here we go then. Red lights go on. Throttle up. Ace Killer comes under threat already into turn one. Leaf Barn all up his rear end coming through there. So hopefully with the grid set up like this, should see some clean, fast racing from the boys at the front. Has everyone made it off the grid? That's always a good start. Granero looks like he's got a little bit of glitching going on. Cali Tim stuck behind him at the minute. Gazelle in 13th. He should have been up the front really as well. Oh, McBuzzy opted for the Porsche in the end. Struggling to keep the pack at the minute though. So back to the front. Ace Killer leads by 0.8 of a second from Leaf Barn. Mart trying to close that gap up. Got a little bit of a slipstream on Leaf Barn's Ferrari at the minute as they run towards the left-hander down towards the hairpin. Not close enough to go for a move through there though. Rob Bacon in that Lexus keeps himself firmly bolted onto the rear end of that BMW. Koenigschleiser 5th, Vossi 6th, Potkind 7th. Cornington, penalty free this time, sitting in 8th. Cali Tim in 9th. Gazelle in 10th. Granero 11th. McBuzzy into 12th. The Bronze has been off track somewhere, he's 13th, and Whitty has also been off track somewhere, he's now 14th. So Ace Killer has got Phil in his rearview mirror. Starting to open up a gap though between himself and the Ferrari in second place. Gap opens up then. Outside of that slipstream range for Leaf Barn. Won't be picking up any kind of toe on the straights. McBuzzy's left the room. Mart eager for a way past Leaf Barn here. Got Rob Bacon just holding on to that 4th. Koenigschleiser 5th. There's the roof. You can just see the roof there. Look, dark smoker smashed across the roof. Cool as hell that is. In the Vanta Black as well. Potkind in 6th. Cali Tim up to 7th. Vossi 8th, Gazelle 9th. He's carving his way through the field. Gazelle harassing Vossi through there as well. Vossi with a half a second penalty. Let's get ourselves on board with Cornington carrying the speed. Well, I thought he was going to go for a move on Gazelle. Both of these drivers picking up a slipstream from Vossi then. Again, difficult to overtake through there. Oh, that's a treacherous line for Cornington. Off track though. Oh, can he hold it? No, he can't. He's into the wall. All the way down to first gear. Gets that car. Gets that car back up to speed. And then dips out of the lobby. So Ace Killer maintains that lead then, pulls away another 10th. Leaf Barn unable to bring that time back down. Mart's not managed to make his way past him either. Rob Bacon hasn't managed to stick with the pace quite. That gap stretches to 1.3 to the 4th place driver. Schleiser in 5th, just 1.6 seconds behind Rob Bacon. Now, where will we see Mark? He's close enough to go for an overtake on the Dottinger straight, although I'm sure he'd like to get past Leaf Barn earlier than that. Not really any opportunities. Killer's not been able to properly disappear yet though. That gap's staying about 1.1 seconds up front. It's actually below a second. Maybe a slight mistake from Ace Killer there then. That brings Leaf Barn back into slipstream range, dragging Mart along for the ride. He's also just given a tow to Rob Bacon here as well. Schleiser falls 4/10 further back, 2 seconds the gap now between him and Rob Bacon. Potkind just 1.1 seconds behind Schleiser. Cali Tim through to 7th, Vossi in 8th, Digazell. Those two have been having a bit of a battle for most of this first lap. Digazell coming back at him down towards the mini carousel, but Vossi cuts across his nose, dips in, doesn't carry the speed out though. Digazell does. Can he carry the speed around the outside? He does. Chops off Vossi's nose. Comes across, but Vossi... Oh, I was going to say Vossi's going to pick up the slipstream, but he's got this penalty to lose, so that's him done in terms of the race with Digazell. Boom, brakes on. Well, still getting a slipstream here, Vossi. Half a second, didn't put too much of a dent in his race, to be honest. Bronze in 10th, nowhere near close enough to go for any kind of move with that penalty loss. Stays in 10th for the time being. There's Greneru sitting in 11th. And Whitty, unfortunately, at the back, 18 seconds down. Okay, so Mart able to use the slipstream to get past the Ferrari up the Dottinger straight. BMW 1-2 then, Ferrari in 3rd, Lexus 4th. Will the two BMWs start stretching a gap away from the Ferrari? Will all 4 drivers stay neck and neck for this last lap? Very close still. Schleiser lost a bit of time to those boys again. It's about 4 or 5 miles an hour slower. Oh, almost making it, almost getting it all wrong through there, Schleiser. Yeah, the Beetle, unfortunately, on that Dottinger straight, it's about 5 miles an hour slower than everything else on track, so it just gets swamped. It's a bit of a shame. He has got a 7th gear as well, which doesn't really come into effect until the last minute on the Dottinger straight, by which time you've already lost the momentum. Cali Tim 7th then. Close it up on that pile of drivers in front. He's quick in that Ferrari. Digazell also quickly in the Porsche. He's had to battle his way through the field to get here. Sitting in 8th at the minute. Vossi 9th. The Bronze in 10th. Greneru 11th and Whitty in 12th. So these 4 still... What is there? 1.8 seconds between the top 4. There they all are. Big gaps behind them to Potkind. 4.8 seconds back to him. These boys keeping themselves firmly bolted together. Oh, a little bit off track there for Rob Bacon. Loses a tiny bit of time, but not enough to write home about. Still only 1.8 seconds between the top 4. It's a tricky corner, easy to get the throttle, a little bit too heavy on the way out of that one. Light the rears up. This one as well, carry a bit too much speed through into the wall on the outside there. Oh, a little twitch there from Rob Bacon. He gets hold of it early enough. Loses a couple of tenths to Leaf Barn in front, but sticks with him. Will pick up that slipstream. Through this right-hander. Now there is an opportunity to for an overtake down this particular part of the track if you're close enough. It does look like everybody getting a little bit of a slipstream off of Ace Killer, so they'll all just close up on each other. Just 1.3 seconds between the top four then. A little bit wide through there, doesn't compromise his lap time too much though, still sticks right on the tail end of Ace Killer coming through the right hander. Look how close they are. 1.1 seconds as we run up towards the carousel. Everybody throws their car into this banked part of the circuit. Easy to get it wrong on the way out of there as well. Put the throttle on a little bit too early. Lose grip on one of those tyres coming out of the carousel. It'll easily light the rears up, send the cars backwards, so a lot of throttle control coming out of that turn. Oh, a little bit wide there for Leaf Barn. Almost robbed Bacon, almost able to stick that Lexus up the inside. Oh, Leaf Barn though gets it wrong on the exit, sticks a wheel on the grass, loses traction. Robbed Bacon able to get through. Leaf Barn gets a tiny bit of rear end wheel damage on that car. It's going to make him run a little bit janky for the next few turns. Unfortunately, that drops him out of that battle for the lead of the race. 2 seconds behind Robbed Bacon now. So back to the top three. We'll stick with Robbed Bacon for the time being. Again, all three of these drivers. A little bit wide through there for Robbed Bacon. Gets away without a penalty by the looks of it. Still just 1.3 seconds between these boys. And all be looking for the run on each other up the Dottinger Straight. Might be Ace Killer that comes off the worst out of this. If Robbed Bacon can get himself bolted onto the back end of Mart. Mark picks up the tow, drags Robbed Bacon along, and they both just slingshot past Ace Killer on the Dottinger Straight, potentially, and taking that first place off him, dropping him to third. We'll see. All three drivers calmly through the mini carousel, up towards the Swallowtail then. Feathering that throttle, trying to keep the pace up. Everybody onto that Dottinger Straight. 1.1 seconds between all three of them. Let's get ourselves on with Ace Killer. See these headlights slowly close up. 0.5 between first and second. Starts to fall now. Again, dragging Robbed Bacon along for the ride, Mart. Is it going to be enough though? Not closing up on Ace Killer as quick as I'd expect him to. Here he goes. Oh, he's bump drafting, so he looks like he's quite happy to give Ace Killer the win. Great bit of racing between these three. Very close. It is going to be Ace Killer taking the win, Mart taking second, Robbed Bacon coming down to third. Excellent bit of driving between those three. Leaf Barn, that little mistake just costing him any kind of battle there, taking fourth in the end. Popkind coming home in fifth. Cali Tim should have been in the thick of that lot. I think he should have started further up the grid in sixth, unless other drivers were a little bit worried about him in that Ferrari maybe. Koenigsschleiser comes home in seventh, Vossi taking eighth, the Bronze coming home in ninth. Graneru around this last turn then will come home for 10th position. Gazelle, another fast driver, but ended up getting tangled up with the midfield drivers by the looks of it. Looks like it's in auto drive mode as well. It will take 11th. Just wait for Whitty to come up the back straight. Through Animal Garden, through Anthony's Beach. Last corner to go and across the line for Whitty, and that's it. go, racing done and dusted tonight then, people. Some decent racing, again some incidents and accidents, but it's racing, that's what happens. But we do expect drivers to sort of pull over. If you've sent someone off track, you pull over and you let them retake that position, even if you have to wait and watch drivers stream past you. Tough. Tries to promote cleaner racing. That's the general idea. But there we go, Ace Killer on top spot for that last race. But that is it from me tonight. Back again tomorrow night at 9 o'clock for the next round of the Japanese Super GTs. Where are we tomorrow? Tokyo? I forget which track, but we're at Tokyo tomorrow. So it's the Japanese GTs, Subaru NSX, or I forget, a Japanese car, but all Japanese tracks. And yes, tomorrow night we are at Tokyo. Outside of that, I'm here same time, same place next week, 8 o'clock for more Nordschleife action, and then yeah, same time, same place next Sunday for 9 o'clock for more Japanese GTs. But yeah, back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Come and check those out. Usually some good racing in the Japanese GTs as well. So yeah, check it out. Outside of that, people, I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, click the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But most of all, what I want you lot to do is tell your mates and tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.